The D&D 5th edition system on Foundry just got a brand new character sheet. Whether you need help learning the new layout, or if you're brand new to playing D&D on Foundry, let's take a look at how to navigate this new sheet and how to quickly create a character. This video will be split into two parts. First, I'm going to go over the layout of the sheet, showing you where everything is and how to edit it. Afterwards, I'll go over how to create a character on the new sheet. Be sure to check out the timestamps in the description. There are a few things we need to understand about the new layout right off the bat. The first is the switch in the top left that toggles between two different modes, edit mode and play mode. Play mode is the default state and allows you to use the sheet and adjust it in the way you normally would during a session. But edit mode reveals all the settings and customization options on the sheet. I'll be switching between the modes as we go through to show off everything at your disposal. The next thing we need to understand is how the new character sheet is organized. There are three main parts of the sheet. Let's go over them from top to bottom. The first section is the header, which is always visible. It has the actor name, short and long rest buttons, the special traits button, inspiration tracker, character level, and XP tracker. Most of these are self-explanatory, except maybe special traits. This opens a menu where you can toggle all sorts of miscellaneous features that your character might have in 5e, usually from feats. If you've got a weird feature that you aren't sure how to enable, this is a good place to check. If you want to change anything in the header, just put the sheet into edit mode. Way up in the top right, there are a few more buttons that are usually for the GM. The book icon will copy the actor's ID if you need it. The cog allows you to change the character sheet itself, including switching back to what is now called the legacy character sheet. And lastly, the person icon opens up the token configuration settings. The next section of the character sheet is the left panel. This panel shows off character art, armor class, lets us manage exhaustion levels, roll initiative, see our proficiency bonus, movement speeds, hit points, and hit dice, and lets us roll death saving throws. If we pop into edit mode, we can click on the giant mystery man and change the character art. We can also toggle between showing the portrait or the token. You can change your token art from here as well. Edit mode also allows us to customize our AC formula, though usually this will be changed automatically by equipping armor or using a class feature. We can also edit our initiative modifier, allowing us to change the ability used for initiative rolls, add a custom bonus, or toggle on some common effects. Below that, we can also edit our movement speeds. And at the bottom of the panel is the favorites section. This section allows you to drag just about anything on the sheet into it, giving you quick access to your most common actions. You can drag weapons, skill rolls, spells, effects, literally just about anything. Experiment and drag stuff to see if it works. The last thing to know about the left panel is that it is always visible even when we switch between tabs on the right, but it's also collapsible in case you want some more breathing room. Speaking of these tabs, let's switch back to the first tab and move on to the last section of the character sheet, the main panel. As you've already sort of seen, the content of this panel changes depending on which tab you select. So let's go through each tab one at a time, starting with the Details tab. This tab is your bread and butter. At the top, you have your ability scores. Clicking on the names of them will allow you to roll basic ability checks. Popping into edit mode will allow us to change the ability scores themselves, which I'll do when we cover character creation. We can also configure each score individually and grant bonuses for saving throws or checks of that specific type, or add global save and check bonuses. While we're in edit mode, we can come down to our skills section and change any of our proficiencies by clicking on the bubbles for each skill. Just like with our ability scores, we can click the cog to configure an individual skill, including changing the ability score that it uses. Great for a barbarian that always wants to intimidate with strength. And of course, clicking on the name of the skill will allow us to roll a check. Staying in edit mode, the cog down in the tools section allows you to set tool proficiencies. You can also set which ability the tool uses and modify its bonuses just like skills. And as usual, click on the name to roll. I think you get it by now. Over on the right, we have the saving throw section, and this works exactly the same way as the skills section, nice and simple. Beneath saves, we have a creature type, race, and background section. I'll go over these in detail during the character creation, but the gist is you can click on these empty slots to open up the SRD compendium and drag your choice onto the sheet. You can also, of course, drag items that you've created yourself or obtained from other sources. Below that, we have a bunch of character details, starting with senses. This is where you can designate things like dark vision. A note for GMs, make sure you also check the token config after to ensure that the token's vision is updated properly. If you want to know more about vision and lighting, check out my other tutorial linked in the description. Beyond senses, there are things like damage resistances, as well as armor and weapon proficiencies, and languages. Proficiencies and languages will usually populate automatically during character creation, but this is where you would go to adjust them if you need to. And with that, we're done with the first tab. That one's a doozy. Next up is the Inventory tab. We can see our encumbrance at the top, along with the relevant stats that calculate it. Beneath that, we have our currency. We can type in coins here, and we can click this button to transfer coins between our inventory and our containers. There's also an option to convert all currency to larger denominations. Beneath that, we have some options for searching and filtering the inventory, as well as an attunement tracker, but neither of these are very useful without items on the sheet, so let me show you a fuller inventory here. Okay, now with some items, we can check out the search and filter features. Search is pretty self-explanatory. Type something, find something. Very handy. The filter icon allows you to only show items depending on certain traits. Also very handy. Clicking the X clears all filters. This button here allows you to sort items manually or alphabetically, and this last button allows you to separate items into categories or keep them all in one big group. Now, the actual items themselves. In play mode, you have a number of options here. You can change the quantity of items, adjust the charges, equip items with the shield icon, and attune to them with this little sunburst. Attuning to items updates the tracker as well. Equipping things like armor will automatically adjust your AC in the left panel. Swapping to edit mode allows us to edit the details of any item or delete them from the sheet, though you can also do this in play mode by clicking the 3 dots at the end of an item, or just right-click on it. Hovering over any item will show the item's description. Clicking the item name will post the item card into chat. Weapons will allow you to roll attacks and damage from the chat card. Clicking an item with charges will prompt you to expend one of the charges. And consumables will be removed once you use them all. Hovering and clicking on things works pretty much the exact same way for all items on your sheet, so keep that in mind. Also, if you have a container, like a backpack or a pouch, they will show up at the top of the inventory, and you can drag items in and out of them as you please. Very simple. Lastly, the plus button down here at the bottom allows you to create a new item from scratch right in the character sheet. You'll see this on a few of the other tabs too. Okay, now we're really going to start flying through these. Next up is the Features tab. This is where you'll add your class, level up, and view all of your features, be they from your background, race, class, or wherever else. Here's a quick glance at a finished character sheet. Hovering, clicking, and edit mode all work exactly the same as the other tabs, so you should be able to navigate this just fine. Though, you can also click the image next to your class to open up its details. And edit mode in this tab allows you to change your class level, which is how you level up. Okay, continuing through, next we have the Spells tab. If your class is configured as a spellcaster, this tab will look something like this. You'll have a box at the top showing your spellcasting class along with the relevant modifiers and DCs. Clicking the bubble on this box will designate it as your primary spellcasting class, great for multi-classers who will have more than one of these boxes. Beneath that is the same search and filter system as the Inventory tab. Depending on your level, the sheet will automatically display the spell levels you currently have access to. Dragging spells onto your sheet from the compendium will automatically put them in the correct level. You can manage your spell slots with these little pips on the right side of each level header. Clicking on a spell will give you the option of consuming a spell slot, and then send the spell card to chat like normal. If the spell has an AoE of some kind, you can also place a measured template when casting, or from the chat card. The little sun icons by each spell allow you to designate the spell as prepared or unprepared, which is great for keeping track during a session. Almost done now. Next up is the Effects tab. This tab contains 2 things. One is a full set of all 5e conditions. Toggling these on or off will also toggle symbols on your character token on the canvas to help keep track of what conditions you currently have. Some of them, like blinded or invisible, also affect your vision on the canvas, which is super cool. The Effects tab also has a list of all effects that your character might have, like the Monk's Unarmored Defense feature, or modifiers from something like Bless or Bane. All effects can simply be toggled on and off as desired, and switching to edit mode gives you the usual options. And last but certainly not least, we have the Biography tab. This tab houses all of your juicy character details. Pop into edit mode to edit any of these as you see fit. The biography section even has a rich text editor, allowing you to insert images, bullet points, and all sorts of formatting. And with that, we've officially gone over every section of the new character sheet. Now that we're familiar with the layout and how to navigate through the sheet, let's go over how to create a character from scratch. First things first, head to the Actors tab and either create a new actor or click on the actor your GM has created for you to open the sheet. From here, we can swap the sheet into edit mode and get to work. First, we can edit our name by typing in the text box. And if you have permission to use the file browser, clicking on the mystery man icon will allow you to change the portrait art. We can swap between showing our portrait or our token, as well as edit the token art while we're here. Next, it's smart to input your ability scores. Whether you're using standard array, point by, or rolling, input your base ability scores at this point. That is to say, don't apply your bonuses from your race yet. Those will be applied automatically for you. Speaking of race, that's what we'll add next. Clicking on the Add Race button will open up the SRD compendium, showing the freely available 5e races. You can also browse to the compendium sidebar to open up alternate compendiums with different content if you have them, whether it be premium content that you purchased or content that you created yourself. If you want to learn how to create content for yourself, check out my other tutorial in the description. Either way, once you make your choice, simply drag the race item onto the sheet. The sheet will prompt you through the advancement steps for the race. Most of these just grant you features, but some might prompt you to make a choice. Simply follow the prompts until you're all done. If you're prompted to select a spell, like for High Elf, just go over to the compendium sidebar, browse for the spells compendium of your choice, this is how to get to the SRD version, and then drag your choice into the advancement box. And we'll go through the same process to add our background. Click to open the SRD compendium, which only has the Acolyte background. So I've gone ahead and made my own Entertainer background. So I'll just drag that right on in and go through the advancement like normal. Once I'm done, we can see it's added the proper proficiencies and items. Sweet. And that's handy because the Inventory tab is next. We already have all the items granted by our background, but we can add our starting gold here as well. And if we need to add any other items, we can do the usual compendium browsing and drag on whatever we need. Or we can click the plus button to create an item ourselves. Again, if you want a tutorial on making items, check the description. Okay, next up, we need to add our class. Let's pop down to the Features tab. Third verse, same as the first. Just click the Add Class button to open the compendium and drag whichever class you like. Run through the advancement steps, and you'll see all your class features populate. After that, we can jump on down to the Spells tab. After adding a spellcasting class, it should look something like this. As per usual, browse through the compendiums, and drag your desired spells onto the sheet. Or use the plus to create your own spells. Make sure you swap over to play mode to see your spell slot tracker. And with that, we're pretty much done. The Effects tab might have something in it at level 1, like Unarmored Defense or spells like Bless or Bane, but will likely be empty. So that means we can jump right on down to the last tab, Biography. In edit mode, you can fill out all these text boxes with whatever you like. And just that quickly, we're done creating our character. You can go through and drag some things into your favorites menu if you like, giving yourself easy access to your most commonly used features. But other than that, you're all set. And that's everything you need to know about the new 5th edition character sheet. Please don't hesitate to leave a comment, or hop into the Foundry community Discord to get some help from tons of knowledgeable and friendly folks who can help you with literally anything you want. But with that, have fun, and until next time, take care.